It all started when I got an invite from a friend, Sarah, to meet up at her apartment on Halloween night. Now, normally I jumped at the chance to hang out with my friends, but I had an exam coming up and I was swamped with studies. I mean, exams wait for no one, right? But you know how friends can be persuasive, especially when it's Halloween. So I thought maybe a little break would do me good, and I could use a distraction from all studying. Sarah was all like, "Come on, it's Halloween, we need to do something fun." So eventually I gave in, and we planned to meet up at her apartment in this kinda oldish building. Halloween night rolled around, and I gotta admit, I was really looking forward to a break. I'd been studying all day, and I needed some time to relax. So I got dressed up as a witch, not too fancy, just a last minute costume, and made my way to Sarah's place. The building was a bit creepy, honestly. It had that old creaky vibe, and I had to take the elevator up to the 5th floor. Sarah's apartment was pretty cozy, and she had decorated it all Halloweeny. There were cobwebs and all that spooky stuff. It was a cool setup, and I was actually starting to enjoy myself. We decided to watch some horror movies on the TV, and we even ordered some pizza. It was turning out to be a great night, but as the hours passed, I couldn't help but think about my exams. Guilt started creeping in, and I was torn between having fun and being responsible. I told Sarah how I was feeling, and she totally understood. So we decided to call it a night early. I started packing up, getting ready to head back home, when we heard some noises from the hallway. At first we thought it was just some trick-or-treaters or other people celebrating Halloween. But then the sounds got extra weird. It was like footsteps, but not regular ones. They were slow and heavy, and they seemed to be coming closer to Sarah's apartment. We both froze for a moment, and I could see the fear in Sarah's eyes. I whispered to her, "Did you invite anyone else over?" She shook her head, and I knew something wasn't right. We decided to turn off all the lights and stay quiet. It felt like the right thing to do. The footsteps were getting closer, and I could feel my heart racing. The corridor outside Sarah's door was dark, but there was enough light from the street lamp to see shadows moving. I don't know how to explain it, but the whole situation felt so eerie. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, we heard the doorknob of Sarah's apartment jiggling. I held my breath, and Sarah clung to me, trembling. The door was locked, and whoever was on the other side couldn't get in, but the feeling of someone trying to enter was beyond terrifying. We decided to call 911. The operator on the other end told us to stay quiet and stay hidden. We did as we were told, and we could hear the sirens approaching. The intruder, or whoever it was, must have heard the sirens too, because they bolted from the door. We heard their heavy footsteps moving away. The police arrived shortly after, and they searched the building. They couldn't find anyone. It was as if the intruder had vanished into thin air. We gave our statements, and the police assured us they'd patrol the area. They advised us to be cautious and keep our doors locked. We decided it was best to stay together for the night. The adrenaline rush had wiped away any exhaustion I was feeling earlier, and I wasn't in the mood to go back to my place alone. So Sarah and I stayed up, talking about everything and nothing until the sun came up. It was a long, eerie night, and I couldn't help but think about how close we might have been to something awful. The thought of going to Sarah's place for a simple Halloween meetup and ending up in a situation like that still sends a shiver down my spine. So here I am sharing this story with you all. Halloween is supposed to be fun and costumes, but sometimes things can take a spooky turn, even in the most unexpected places. Stay safe out there, folks. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows, especially on Halloween night.